Welcome to the Jehovih Chronicles with your host, Cosmon Cal.
Jehovih is as near this day as in the time of the ancients. Put yourself in order, becoming one with him. And no book is so easily read as his created universe. Inspiration comes less by books than by what Jehovih wrote. His worlds read him and his works. Frame your speech and your thoughts for him. He will answer you in your own behavior and in the happiness of your soul. Great wisdom cannot be attained in a day, nor purity and strength to overcome temptation, till the growth is from the foundation. The fool will say, the sacred books are no more than man of his own knowledge could write. Yet he has not wisely imitated the power of the words of your God. Let him do this well, and behold, he will also declare my words are from me. Yes, he will recognize them wherever found. It is the will and wish of your God that all men become constitutionally capable of receiving and comprehending the highest life, and that they shall no longer depend upon any priest, church, oracle, holy book, or upon consulting the spirits, and that their behavior may make the earth a place of peace, with long life to all people, for the glory of Jehovah. To his Etherian gods and goddesses, Jehovah said, as you have founded arcs of light in my Etherian heavens to determine the travel of my corporeal worlds, so shall my God of the earth inspire mortals to build lighthouses for man's ships that travel on the oceans, and those who travel in the ships. And those on the land shall know when a ship nears the port, even as you see my traveling earth approaching the place of Cosmon. For this shall be an illustration to mortals, that I have appointed cycles of times and dawns of times, with gods and goddesses to superintend my creations in tenderness and love, lest by chance man becomes despondent, saying, alas, Jehovah did not provide in wisdom commensurate with the magnificence of his creations. Behold, the time draws near when the nations of the earth shall course around the whole earth in ships, crossing the seas and oceans to all the places I created.
That's right. Right back like I left something, your hostess with the mostest, holding that fire like a roach clip. your naga, your nerve, fresh up off of that curved jelly, jam and preserve. Cosmonian, Anakwakaiki, the cloud kicker back up in this thing. Amen. Say, man. I had kind of forgot Rosh Shashana had even came past. And then what made me overlook it was because I don't know if y'all was hip, but this guy had this African guy named Joshua something had stated that the rapture. First of all, I don't know what rapture is in the Bible, period. But the rapture was supposed to come and swoop people up from the 23rd through the 25th. It is 29th. Ain't nobody went nowhere. So another false prophecy. You dig what I'm talking about? They don't know prophecy is not guesswork. They don't know it's like a whole formula and a science to prophecy. But during this Rosh Hashanah, man, some people are really starting to expose themselves. and them practices we used to see, right? We didn't used to see, that were hidden at one time. They starting to come out, and right with this new understanding of what's going on around us, man, it's giving us a different type of point of view, right, into what people are actually doing out here. And this calls to mind the book of Revelations 2:9, 3:9, where they say there's a people who are calling themselves Jews, but are lying, right? It says they're serpents and the sons of Satan, and they do lie, right? I just want to show you how disturbing what they're really saying and what they're pushing for in these ideologies, Zionism, Judaism. You dig what I'm saying? These different understandings, right? And religious ideologies. You dig what I'm saying? It's it get real sick and twisted out here, right? Real sick and twisted, right? I want to show y'all this real quick. Y'all thumb up the video, share out the live and stuff. You dig what I'm saying? I want to show you what these people is talking about, y'all. Right? Make sure everybody can see this. Let's roll.
The greatest lie humanity tells itself.
Hold on.
World to keep running. We do it because we believe that the gods says that we have outgrown human sacrifice. We call it by different names now and make our offering to different.
I do not want to play it.
Whose favor we so desperately seek. Freedom, security, prosperity, flourishing. That they demand blood as the price of their favor. We do it because we cannot see any other choice.
Hold on. Let me see if I can just download this real quick because it want to act a fool on me right when I want to play it, of course. Of course. Okay, let's see if I can download this real quick. One second, y'all. Hold on. As a matter of fact, shout out to everybody, man. Peace to the gang. Love, light, balance out there. You know. Oh, let me drop something behind here real quick while I'm doing this real quick.
On this path of life, guided by the wasp insight. Every word, every line, every page I read, transforming my soul, planting a seed. Embracing the wisdom of the ancient text. In every chapter feeling blessed. The truth it unveils, the secrets it holds, connecting me to the universe's most. Living in harmony, in peace and love, in light and shining from above. Oh, I speak, guiding me on. In the stillness of my soul, a new dawn. Embracing the light, letting go of the dark. In every moment, creating my mark. Through trials and tribulations, I stand tall. The wasp's teachings breaking every wall. My spirit soaring, my heart at peace. In the wisdom of a wasp, finding release. Aligned with the cosmos in perfect flow. Living by its principles, letting my light glow. Harmony and love, the essence of my being. Oh, I speak, guiding me.
The gods.
In the stillness of my
We offer young men we call soldiers, as if the designation means that the greatest lie humanity tells itself is that we have outgrown human sacrifice. We call it by different.
Oh, I speak, guiding me on. In the stillness of my soul, a new dawn. Embracing the light, letting go of the dark. In every moment, creating my mark. Oh, I speak, guiding me on. In the stillness of my soul, a new dawn. A new dawn, embracing the light, letting go of the dark. Oh, the dark, in every moment, creating my mark, getting my mark. Oh, I speak, guiding me on. I speak, guiding me on. Oh. As I walk on this path of life, guided by the wasp insight. Every word, every line, every page I read, transforming my soul, planting a seed. Embracing the wisdom of the ancient text. In every chapter feeling blessed. The truth it unveils, the secrets it holds, connecting me to the universe's most. Living in harmony, in peace and love, in light and shining from above. Oh, I speak, guiding me on. In the stillness of my soul, a new dawn. Embracing the light, letting go of the dark. In every moment, creating my mark. trials and tribulations I stand tall. But watch these teachings breaking every wall. My spirit soaring, my heart at peace. In the wisdom of a wasp, finding release. Aligned with the cosmos in perfect flow. Living by its principles, letting my light glow. Harmony and love, the essence of my being. Oh, I speak, guiding me on. In the stillness of my soul, a new dawn. Embracing the light, letting go of the dark. In every moment, creating my mark. Oh, I speak, guiding me on. In the stillness of my soul, a new dawn. Embracing the light, letting go of the dark. In
All right.
moment, creating my mark. Oh, I speak, guiding me.
All right. I had to find the original video real quick. Let me pull this up for y'all, man. I want y'all to hear how demonic and evil these people is. And they talk about sacrifices and blood sacrifices, basically saying the same thing that got Charlie Kirk killed, that, you know, these deaths are acceptable. You dig what I'm talking about? Not only are they acceptable and justifiable, you dig what I'm saying, that they're needed in a sense. They send their own sons off as blood sacrifices to die for these gods. But you lying, Cosmo. These ain't no way that they said that on Rosh Hashanah morning service in 2025. You lying, Cosmo. Hold on, let me put a little sauce on this thing so they can't hit me with a little with a whatchamacallit. I want y'all to see it for yourself, right? And we'll just listen to what they saying, right? And we'll stop it and point out at the pertinent points. Watch this. Listen to what she's saying. Watch this.
The meaning of today's Torah portion. Her words bring home the full impact of the binding of Isaac in our time, demanding that we hear this.
Now, Rosh Hashanah and all this stuff is about the binding of Isaac. You dig what I'm talking about when they talking about God was tempting and testing and trying to see or cajole or push or tempt. You dig what I'm talking about? Abraham to kill his son when Abraham already knew better not to kill anything. Right? So God would have been testing him and tempting him, right? But the problem is the God of the Bible says he doesn't test or tempt anybody. Literally the word, I do not tempt man. Right? So why is he tempting Abraham to sacrifice his son as a blood offering? A human blood sacrifice. Remember, they're getting this narrative out of different Jewish, Christian ideologies, out their Tanakh or whatever. You dig what I'm talking about? And this is where they're coming from with their ideals. This is what the whole idea of Rosh Hashanah and all that stuff is about.
This ancient story with fresh ears. It is the rawest of prayers, crying out from her soul, from our souls. So I share in the name of our teacher, my teacher, Tali Adler. The greatest lie humanity tells itself is that we have outgrown human sacrifice.
What? What? Okay, see, y'all thought I was playing. The biggest lie that we tell ourselves is that we have outgrown human sacrifice. Huh? Y'all haven't? Look at this barbarous attitude, is heathenistic, is yes, we've got past human sacrifice. Y'all haven't. Don't blame this on us. Thumb up the video, man. Share out the live. We're gonna keep cooking. Watch this. I ain't make up none of this.
We call it by different names now. Self is that we have. The greatest lie humanity tells itself is that we have outgrown human sacrifice. We call it by different names now. And make our offering
like war
to different gods. We offer young men.
Listen.
And make our offering to different gods by different names now. And make our offering to different gods. We offer young men, we call, and make our offering to different gods.
Wait a minute. I thought it was only one God. What gods are you offering sacrifices to? First of all, as faithists, we don't offer sacrifices to any gods. It'd be like offering sacrifices to my sister. My cousin them. No. Gods, listen, they'll slide this stuff past you real slick in some ceremony. The biggest lie man done told himself is that human sacrifice don't exist. We call it by other names. Listen. And we sacrifice to other gods. Watch this. What's wrong with my thing?
Story with fresh ears.
Listen.
It is the rawest of prayers, crying out from her soul, from our souls. So I share in the name of our teacher, my teacher, Tali Adler. The greatest lie humanity tells itself is that we have outgrown human sacrifice. We call it by different names now and make our offering to different gods. We offer young men we call soldiers, as if the designation means that their mothers cry less when they die.
Right. Do you believe that their mothers cry less when they die? When you offer up their sons as fodder in the front line of a war and genocidal murder of a people? Huh? You think that mama cry less? My thing is, we ain't gonna worry about the mama. Why? Because you ain't gonna worry about the mama. Let's worry about you. Right? Do you cry when you send them boys off to the front lines? Huh? That's the question that need to be asked. Do you cry, period?
Call soldiers, as if the designation means that they're gods. Call it by different names now. That Adler. The greatest lie humanity tells itself is that we have outgrown human sacrifice. We call it by different names now and make our offering to different gods. We offer young men we call soldiers, as if the designation means that their mothers cry less when they die. We call masses of humanity collateral damage and turn our eyes away from the pictures of their lifeless bodies.
Israel to this day has slaughtered 30,000 Palestinian children. 30 to 40,000 just babies. Blanket bombing, knocking down towers full of people. blowing up sanctuaries, blowing up hospitals, daycares, child care centers. They are wiping Gaza out. The hypocrisy. The hypocrisy. All right, let's go back just a little bit.
Lateral damage and turn
Lateral damage. They're going to tell you that these 30, 40,000 children bombed over there is just collateral damage. Listen to what they're telling you.
our eyes away from the pictures of their lifeless bodies as we sip our morning coffee.
Mm.
And the truth is, we don't do it because we're heartless.
Listen.
Away from the pictures of their lifeless bodies to different gods. Call it by different names now. And make our offering to different gods. We offer young men we call soldiers.
Yeah, we don't call it human sacrifice now. We call it genocide. Y'all call it genocide. That's what we call it. When you ethnically cleanse a people, when you colonize their land, right? An attempt to wipe them off the planet genetically. Yeah, that's human sacrifice, aka genocide. That is the other name we call it by. There's another name we call it too. War. Yeah, we call it by different names today. Look how soulless everybody is up here, supposed to be God people. They look dead. Look at their eyes. These people would sell their grandchildren out. This is sick. Watch this.
As if the designation means that their mothers cry less when they die. We call masses of humanity collateral damage and turn our eyes away from the pictures of their lifeless bodies as we sip our morning coffee.
You sure do.
And the truth is, we don't do it because we are heartless.
Why do you do it? If you don't sacrifice human children, 30,000 human Palestinian babies, because you heartless, tell me why you do it.
We do it because we believe that it is necessary for the world to keep running. Do it because we believe that it is necessary for the world to keep running. Do it because we believe that it is necessary for the world to keep running. We do it because we believe that the gods whose favor we so desperately seek.
The gods, plural. Now, when did Judaism become polytheistic? When did Israelitism, Hebrewism, stop being monotheistic? What gods? The gods of that book you holding say there is none beside him. Do y'all see they praying to something different? And it's okay to kill, lie, murder, steal, long as you do it in the name of the gods, plural, We will catch you out there, right? And we'll hit you every time. Yeah, we'll get your little God together. Your gods.
We do it because we believe that it is necessary for the world to keep running.
Wow.
We do it because we believe that the gods whose favor we so desperately seek, freedom, security, prosperity.
Freedom, security, prosperity. Are you saying those are the gods? Listen. Let's run it back a little bit. Listen.
Because we are heartless. We do it because we believe that it is necessary for the world to keep running. We do it because we believe that the gods whose favor...
He said it's not because we heartless, but heartless people do these things, correct? And just because you're saying you're not heartless doesn't mean you're not heartless. But you're justifying why you murder. Listen.
We so desperately seek freedom, security,
Listen,
gods who are necessary for the world to keep running. We do it because we believe that the gods whose favor we so desperately seek...
The gods' favor we so desperately seek, the gods...
We do it because we believe that the gods whose favor we so desperately seek, freedom, security, prosperity, flourishing, that they demand blood as the price of their favor.
Whoa. She said the gods are freedom, security. Hold on, I'm gonna let her say it again. One more time.
Gods whose favor we so desperately seek.
The gods.
Freedom, security, prosperity.
Freedom, security, prosperity. The gods. They require what?
Flourishing. That they demand blood as the price of their favor.
This is mammon. I didn't get it till right now. I didn't get it. You know how you like really praise money? It's not money per se. It's the love of she just said it. Hold on. It's the love of
we so desperately seek freedom, security.
Freedom and security. And what?
Security, prosperity, flourishing.
They're the gods. Mammon. Things of the world and what money can bring, security and freedom and liberty and what man wouldn't give up a little liberty for the security of all? That's a man. You ain't saying nothing. Slick to a can of oil. Huh? Remember, we to pull your bootstraps up, people.
That they demand blood as the price of their favor.
They demand blood.
Because we cannot see any other choice.
We can't see no other choice but prosperity, freedom, liberty. What she say?
Whose favor we so desperately seek, freedom, security, prosperity, flourishing. That they demand blood as the price of their favor. We do it because we cannot see any.
Whose blood? You gonna kill your own people? No. You gonna genocide the people. Look, bro, she believes in her heart killing Palestinian children is good. She believe it. She knows it. You tell her, I know it. If it stops the death of one Israelite child who was getting harmed by no one, Cosmon, well then it's one good death. No. You're evil. We just got to call it out, right? Has nothing to do with you being a Jew. It's your ideology. We don't care that you Jewish. Your God say kill people, and you go out and do it. That's why, right? Plus, we can't even be anti-Semitic. Before y'all converted to it, we was already the Semites. So how could we ever This is so frustrating sometimes, right? Because these people swear they right, but are the synagogue of Satan. Your God said that. I didn't say that. Your God says you some fake Jews and y'all out here acting like y'all holy, but really y'all praising money and security and prosperity. Your God, aka Mammon. I never understood it till now. With this dumb puppy look on you. Listen.
Other choice. And maybe that's why
there's no other choice but to kill him. There's no other choice, guys. You have no other choice. There's no other choice but to kill these niggas. We see no other way. There's no other way, Cosmon. We must kill them. The prosperity gods want and demand blood. I ain't say it.
We seek freedom, security, prosperity, flourishing, that they demand blood as the price of their favor. We do it because we cannot see any other choice.
There's no other choice.
And maybe that's why we read the Akedah, the binding of Isaac, on Rosh Hashanah. Because the story of the Akedah isn't about inconceivable obedience. When Abraham prepares to sacrifice Isaac, he is just accepting the same bargain of blood we still accept today.
What?
That some need to die for the world to flourish.
What? Who took that bargain? Y'all signed up for that? Did they have those? Did they have the little people standing outside your local Walmart saying, "Here, guys, we want to sign you up for this blood libel"? They're anti-Semitic. They need to call the ADL on themselves. Bro, your God demand. Who blood do it demand? Whose blood? I know you ain't offering up your own. So whose blood are you demanding? Better listen.
When God stops Abraham from killing his son, God is not just saving Isaac. God is offering us all another way. God is offering an enduring testimony that the world does not need to be lubricated with human blood to invite divine blessing.
Well, then why are you lubricating the world with human blood? You can't have it both ways. You can't talk out of both sides of your gibbers. Your mouth is moving, right? Words are coming out, but they have no impact, meaning, or sense in fact other than you kill people for that ideology. Check.
God is offering us a way out of the lie. When we read the story of the Akedah on Rosh Hashanah, it's not just a story, but a prayer that this year finally will be the year that we learn to hear God's command to spare the child. That this will be the year we stop believing in a God who desires human blood.
Hold on. Let's look something up real quick. How many Palestinian children have been killed by the IDF since 2022? In 2025, right? The Gaza base, let me show you this. In 2025, the Gaza base government media office reported that over 20,000 children were killed since October 2023. A UNICEF report noted that at least 14,000 children in Gaza have been reportedly killed since October 23, with thousands more potentially buried under rubble still today. In May of 2025, right? UNICEF press release indicated that more than 50,000 children have been reportedly killed since 2023. So excuse me if we don't believe you.
Nah, it's not just a story, but a prayer that this year finally will be the year that we learn to hear God's command to spare the child. That this will be the year we stop believing in a God who desires human blood. That maybe this will be the year we finally figure out that it's possible for all our children to live.
Maybe, but
Maybe.
Yet you're not.
Maybe.
Maybe. Huh? I wanted to show y'all that. Right? Because one of the major parts that they lying about is that, you dig what I'm talking about? Abraham. And that, first of all, it was cool in the first place for your God to tempt him to try to kill his son in the first place. Right? What does it mean? Hold on, let me share this. Let me share this real quick. Hold on 1 second. What does it mean to tempt? Right? What does it mean to tempt? To tempt someone, or tempt, right? A verb means to entice or attempt to entice someone to do or acquire something that they find attractive, but know to be wrong or not beneficial. So if we know for a fact to kill a child, right, is wrong and is not beneficial, we must ask the logical question: why is your God tempting Abraham to do it in the first place? Why is he trying to, see if he would do it? And if you was already omnipresent, you would have already known that he would. Right? But we come to find out that the whole biblical narrative, right, is not even told from the Israelites. The enemies of the Israelites wrote the Bible. The enemy of the Israelites are called Jews. Let that sink in. They're conflating that they're you. And you are believing, in fact, that you are them, because they have conflated the fact that Jew and Israel means the same thing. And they don't. Objectively, they're not the same people, and they do exactly the opposite of each other. Everything is opposite. A Jew is 100% opposite of what an Israelite is. So if you want to know what a real Israelite is, look at a Jew, right, and do the opposite, and that is what an Israelite. So Jews went to war, Israelites didn't. Never. Jews sacrificed their children, Israelites never did. Jews lived in the kingdom. The Israelites never did. Jews praised the king. The Israelites never did. Jews never had a prophet. The Israelites did. Jews went east out of Egypt. The Israelites went west out of Egypt. Opposites. Huh? Jews got a book to teach them how to be Israelites. Israelites are Israelites and don't need anybody to teach them anything. Jews need a Levitican priest to enter into the Holy of Holies. Israelites are born Israel and can enter the Holy of Holies anytime they want. Jews got a priest. Israelites don't. They are exactly the opposite of each other. Exactly the opposites. Right? Jews getting cursed. Israelites the opposite. Huh? You got a man as a god. Israelite is the opposite. Everything. Tempt means to entice somebody. So let's get into the real story. Let's get to how Owaspy tell you about the real Abraham, and then how it break down the story. Because see, really, if you really want to know, Abraham ain't the first person that was tested and tempted in this way. Or allowed to be tested and tempted by a demonic entity. He ain't the first. See, they don't tell you about the stories of Poe. What about the nigga in Asia who did everything that Abraham did? They got one in India, they call him Brahma. They got one in America, they call him Iwata or Hiawatha. They got one in China, also called Poe. And guess what? The whole thing happened to him too. And true God is asking him this question this time. Watch this. Watch this. Right? Abraham and Poe are contemporaries, by the way. But this happened to Poe first. Right? Right? Poe was 20 years old when he married, and he went with his wife and 3 children to the country of Hingaji. Hold on one second. Hold on one second, y'all. My bad, y'all. I wanted to show this to y'all real quick. Let me blow this up a little bit more, just so y'all can see it. Right? This true God coming to Poe, contemporary of Abraham. Watch this. Because they kept throwing Abraham in there like Abraham was on the same level and understanding as they are. Hell no. Watch this. We people are light. We not no evil, low down people. We know that it's not good to kill a child, period. Watch this. And God, this is true God, came to Paul saying, what? What is the extent of your fidelity to the all highest light? Basically asking him, nigga, what you would do for the creator? Huh? Paul said, I will obey him in all things. Now, Poe is the Abraham of China, right? This is why you get the same stories everywhere. Anyways, right? Creator light is all comprehensive. It don't just affect one people. Poe said, I will obey him in all things. God said, God asking him a question now. Would you sacrifice your 3 sons if commanded by your creator? Listen to Paul's answer. Now, mind you, this is a son of the creator, a faithist. At the time, he would have been a practicing Zarathustrian. You dig what I'm talking about? This is way before the Confucian law. This is 3953 BC, right? It's almost 6,000 years ago, right? So he asked him, hey, cuz, this is, now mind you, the same ideology that Poe is under, Abraham would have been under at the same, this is the same time. It's just happening to Poe first. Watch. God said, would you sacrifice your 3 sons if commanded by your creator? Poe said, listen to what Poe said. They are the creators, not mine. Huh? How dare I sacrifice that which is another's? Checkmate. Look what God said. Look what true God said to him. You are wise. Why? Because you know the master light. You know the law of the master light. You know the higher law, the Ormazdian law. Huh? Kill what? How dare I sacrifice anything which is another's? That play for animals too. I'm saying they lied on the ancestor Abraham. Huh? They lied on him. Watch this. Let's just get into it. We just gonna cook a little bit, right? And the dope part about Owaspy is Owaspy say stuff, right? And if you intelligent enough, right, you can objectively go and find what they saying. Now, some of the words and names may be difficult. You did what I'm talking about, but with that being said, if you find the names of things in here, you did what I'm talking about, and they still like that today, that lends credence to what Owaspy is saying. Well, this is the first book of God, chapter 9, right? This is the story of Abraham, right? Abraham has not left his father's country yet, where he was born. He ain't left yet. He ain't went to where his brother's city is, right? Called Haran or Ur, right? First of all, Ur is the city, so it would have been the Ur of Haran, right? Ur literally means city. So he wasn't in the city, he was in the city of his brother, Haran. Did y'all also know Abraham had a brother named Lot. Not just a nephew, a brother. Did you ever stop and ask, who's Lot's father? And if Lot is Abraham's nephew, right? Abraham's nephew, daddy, is Abraham's brother. So who is Lot's daddy? Lot Sr. Watch this. The number of those who had come to Abram, notice he ain't got the name Abraham yet, had came to Abram in Sheol-Dawan, reached 4,500 souls. God spoke to Abram saying, come now, I will lead you and your people into another country. So, watch. So Abram led them away, and they came, right? And they came into the lower Howd Lutz, right? If we want to lend any credence to this story, right, we should, first of all, where are we, right? Where is Abraham at in the earth? He's in Iran. How do you know, right? Well, we would know because they're naming right here the place where he took the people, right? Before he goes into the pathway and going into Egypt, right? He got 4,500 people with him, right? He said, God told him, I'm going to lead you and your people into a new country. And he led them away, and they came into the lower Howd Lutz. Is there a place on the earth still called the Lutz? And where is it? Huh? Where is it? Huh? It's in Iran. The modern day Lutz Desert. Right here. Look. How is that place existing? Ain't no way that even should be there. And then look how big it is. It extends all the way past Kermit, down all up in here. So when they saying, now mind you, let me show y'all something. What's Abraham daddy name? Anybody? Huh? What's Abraham daddy name? Is there a city on earth named after Abraham daddy? Is it also in Iran? His name is Terah, from the city of Tehran. Right down here, right over in here, is a city called Abraham today. Right? But I want y'all to see that all this is the Howd Lutz, or the Lutz Desert. All the way over here. So if he was coming from this area, and he would have had to cross over here to cross the Lutz Desert. Why would he come this way? Because this is the way you got to go to come up into Suma and come up here all the way up in Haran, Baghdad area, where his brother and them is supposed to have lived. So instead of going up here and coming down the mountains and crossing down there, they would have been walking, right? They would have been walking. So they crossed south of the desert, right? Right here, where Bashra is This is all Suma down here. Right? But this desert all through here is called the Lut. Y'all, who knew that? Let's be real. And how the hell is it in Owaspie in 1881? He said, he led them and they came into the lower Haud Lutz. The Lutz is a desert today. Right? But whether it was a desert today or a desert then, it's an area that if Owaspie is a made up book, it shouldn't know nothing about. And given an even more ancient name, the Hold. And it came to pass, listen, that the year after they departed out of Shi-Atowan, right? Southern Tehran, a famine came upon the land, and the enemies of God were cut off and could not pursue Abram and his people, right? Let's hear the real story, what's happening. And it was after this that Abram was called Abraham. Why? And he built altars of worship and altars of sacrifice according to the commandments of God. Now it came to pass in the early days of Abraham, he told his brothers, listen, he told his brothers that the light and power of God were with him. And though others believed in Abraham, yet Lot, listen, yet Lot, Abraham's brother, and Lot, Abraham's nephew, So when they try to put it on Lot that he slept with his own daughters and all that, cap. Watch. Huh? He told his who? His brothers. Right? Right? And though others believed in Abraham, yet Lot, Abraham's brother, and Lot, Abraham's nephew, right, did not believe in Abraham, saying of him what they say about him. He was born naturally and is wise because of his own judgment. So they admitting he wise. Huh? But he telling them, nigga, I'm only smart because Jaja made me this way. They saying, nah, he's smart because he just smart. He just be reading books. Right? Right? God said to Abraham, behold, right? Listen, it is a easy matter to commune or to talk with spirits. That's easy. But to judge righteously regarding them is not so easy. Huh? Right? So how do you know that, these your ancestors coming back telling you anything? How do you judge if it's hard? It's easy to hear it. It's easy to commune, right? But how do you righteously judge which one is of the light and which one is of the darkness? Which one come from true God? Which one come from false God? Which one come from creator? Which one come from your environment? It's not easy. Huh? Right? Listen, this is pre-Sodom and Gomorrah. Watch this. It's easy matter to commune with spirits, but to judge righteously regarding them is not so easy. For which reason you and your wife and 100 picked men shall go to visit Sodom and Gomorrah in the valley of Siddim. And Abraham and his people went as commanded by God and visited the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah. And God spoke privately to Abraham, saying, I will destroy these cities, for they are like hells for evil spirits. But Lot, the elder and younger, shall escape for your sake. Look, no bargaining, no none of that. And when they came to Sodom, behold, listen what's going on in Sodom. Right? Now, we've heard, hints that these types of activities was going on in Sodom. You dig what I'm talking about? In different apocryphal type texts, and you dig what I'm talking about? But it's never been backed up. You dig what I'm talking about? And it's hard for people to believe, even though they supposed to be spiritual people, they don't believe that angels are spirits. So, I don't know. You know what I mean? But we hear about these stories about the atrocities that was going on in Sodom and Gomorrah is hinted about, but it's never really positioned as into what was really happening. Right? It's another dope part about Owaspy. Check this out. And when Abraham and them, when they came to Sodom, behold, the angels walked among the people. But this is the crazy part. Right? And the people knew they were angels, but were indifferent in regarding them. And there were laws made by Barah, king of Sodom. We know this is supposed to be Barah is supposed to be Og. Or is this a time after Og where one of his descendants by the name of Barah is still there and is the king of Sodom? See, the Bible making hint in the extra biblical narratives that is Abraham fighting King Og and Nimrod and all them, when Owaspy gives us a way to explain that Nimrod is about 7,400 BC, about 4,000 years before this time. And you dig what I'm talking about? So he couldn't have fought Abraham. And then we get stories of Moses going against them, these giant Anakim over here in the same place where Sodom and Gomorrah is today. Later going against these people, and even Joshua, right? In the conquest of Canaan, right? But what they don't understand is there's 2,400 years just between Abraham and Moses. 2,400 years between them. And there's what's that? 4,500 years or 4,000 years in between the time of Abraham and Og and Uzzah and Nimrod. They're about 7,400-ish, right? 7,400 BC, right? That would have been the time of Og and all them. This is when they would have got to Sodom and all that. Thousands of years later, you got Abraham, right? Roughly at 3953 BC. That's when he walking into Egypt, right? That's when he started his journey. This is right where we at, 3953 BC, the exact year, right? And so he would have came through the southern outlets, up through Mesopotamia. You dig what I'm talking about? And came into the area we now know as Sodom and Gomorrah, right? So he came up through Mesopotamia, right? You get there, they're angels walking among the people, and the people know it, right? And listen, and there were laws made by Barah, the king of Sodom, regarding the behavior between angels and men. So if there wasn't a lot of things going on already between them, you did what I'm saying, wouldn't have been no need for law, right? So some reason they putting regulations on it and how they dealing with each other, obviously because some type of negative result was coming from interaction between these angels and these men. But what kind of interactions were you having? Right? As always, it comes down to, sexual interactions. We even get that story through the Bible. Wasn't they trying to have sex with the man and all that? Anyways, right? Let's keep reading. And Abraham, being pressed by the presence of God, said to his people, behold, there are angels that love to dwell in lust and to partake with mortals, to eat with them, to lie down with them, and to partake in all ungodly pleasures. God, through his angels, rained down fire and brimstone on Sodom and Gomorrah, and they were burnt and destroyed. Lot the elder escaped and went and lived in a cave. Watch this. Now, after Abraham and his people had returned to Jari, right, his camp, and it was night, God said to Abraham, be steadfast and show your people so that they may understand my words. Now, this is the part of the story that you don't get, right? Listen up, y'all. They've been lying on the OG Abraham this whole time. Watch this. He wasn't going to kill his child. He even questioned his God. Didn't they tell you even in that Bible to test the spirit? Well, how many of you have ever tested one? How many of you got the intestinal fortitude to say, hold on, wait a minute. Watch this. This is the part that they ain't telling you about. And while they were still praying, right, before the altar, God, true God, withdrew from Abraham and allowed the evil angels who had followed him from Sodom and Gomorrah to draw near the altar. Listen, and one of the angels clothed itself in a great light and adorned with sparkling gems and a crown, and he appeared so that all the multitude of the people could look up on him. Not just Abraham. Everybody was there. Pitch black night, they at the altar throwing up praise, and a big ass man in gems shining, sparkling with a crown on. Come out talking about Abraham. Where art thou, nigga? This nigga came out of, could you imagine everybody seeing him like, oh, he probably big as hell too. Shining in a great light. He got gems on. He got the jewels. Got the crown pimped AC Doocy to the side. You know, got his now later gaiters on. You dig what I'm talking about? Abraham, where art thou? Huh? Everybody is seeing this. So this is why it's a spectacle. This is why it's remembered. Watch this. God said, or Abraham said, who are you? And the Spirit said, I am your God, ruler of heaven and the earth. Huh? Abraham said, I am your servant. So right there, this is the great Abraham. This is the great Abraham, one of the most spiritually dominant people who ever walked the goddamn planet. And he can't tell the difference between a true God and a false one. That's the lesson, y'all. The lesson is don't just listen or accept what they're saying. Listen and then judge it, right? Because let's drop down a little bit, right? Right? Because he can't tell. Now, Abraham said, I will do whatever you put upon me. So the morning that Abraham and his son Isaac and the host who had been with Abraham, the Sodom and Gomorrah assembled together, and Abraham spoke, saying, Where to, O God? And the Spirit answered, saying, Take sticks and a firebrand and come to the summit of the hill over there, for you shall restore the rights of burnt offerings. Abraham told the people what God had said, so they began, and Isaac carried the bundle of willows. So do Isaac know he about to get slaughtered? No. Do Abraham know he about to slaughter his son? No. He's being tricked. He think he talking to true God. He told the people they got the bundles and everything. Isaac even carrying some. Yeah. Now, this will like the large pieces, but what will burn for an offering, O Father? This is Isaac asking him. And Abraham said, God will provide. And when they ascended to the place, Abraham gathered the logs and heaped them up, and Isaac placed the willows. When the Spirit spoke, saying, What shall a man love above all things in the world? And Abraham said, God. And the Spirit said, For which reason you shall offer your only son Isaac. Who is asking him? A false God. And wait a minute. How can this be your only son if Ishmael is your son? Uh-oh, gotcha. For which reason you shall offer your only son Isaac. But hold on, it's a double Hadouken, because even the Bible say Isaac is your only son, but then turn around and say Ishmael is his son too. Can you say contradiction? It's some BS. It's some bullshit. It's some bullshit. Hallelujah. Yeah. It's some BS. Watch this. For which reason you shall offer your only son Isaac as a burnt offering, and it shall be testimony before your people that you will obey God, even to the sacrifice of your own flesh and kin. Now, Abraham said, wait a minute, show me that you are God, so I don't make no mistake. Because why? Hold on, nigga, wasn't it you? You told me, huh? That I shall not kill. Thou shall not kill. You told me that. So wait a minute, big homie. If you God for real, you the one told me thou shall not kill. So just so I don't make no mistake, you kill him then with your bad ass. Test that spirit. Huh? Why? Because supposedly you told me not to kill. Now you want me to kill? But watch. And the spirit departed away from Abraham. Huh? Why? Because just like Poe, he perceived that he knew the higher law. Hold on one second, y'all. All right. Why? And the spirit departed away from Abraham, perceiving that he knew the higher law. The same thing Poe knew. God says, "She, man, you smart, nigga. You know the higher law. Ain't nobody gonna be able to trick you." They couldn't trick Abraham neither. Why? Because he understood the higher law. And Isaac, listen, and Isaac, right, was grieved at heart, for he desired to witness what a sacrifice was. And the people, seeing a ram near at hand, they went and caught it and slaughtered it and sprinkled the blood on the sacrifice. And they lit the fire, roasted the flesh, and then took it and gave it to the poor. Look at that. And Abraham called this place Jehovah Jireh. Huh? And they returned to the camp, and Abraham, being moved by God, spoke before the people. Listen. Abraham said, "This testimony I declare to you, regarding which your own brothers are witnesses, that even me, even Jesus, even Moses, even Cosmon, huh? Right? Can be and will be deceived by evil angels." Why? Because they can take any name and form, and they have no fear of God before them. And they declare falsehood for truth and darkness for light. And also, as you have seen, the evilest of cities, even as well as the purest, may be abiding places of angels, for which reason you shall not seek signs and miracles, for these may be from evil spirits, even though they show their bodies or converse learnedly. It is not in the power of man to know by words and signs, or by oaths or promises, what is true. But the Creator has created one thing besides, which is his own light, for which reason be believing towards men and angels. And when they teach you according to the Creator, which is life to all and happiness to all, without sacrifice to any, which blows Rosh Shashana out the water, happiness to all, life to all. But they offering children up, 50,000 dead since 2023. But if they tell you to do something good and give life to somebody, give happiness to somebody, without sacrificing to anything or anybody, then they are holy. Listen, if a man says visit the sick and administer to the distressed, follow his advice, for it is of the Father. But if a man or an angel says, do this, and thou shalt have profit or glory or applause, do not obey him, for he advises for yourself and not for the brotherhood of man. He is not of God. So how do we tell who is of the light and who is of the dark? You got to listen and then judge what's being said, because the Creator going to tell you to do something good. He going to tell you about life and liberty and happiness, to all, without sacrificing anything to anybody for any reason, of any type. The sacrifice is your time to applying to all life and all happiness to all people. This is why you do good to others. And this is also why it's its own benefit. God test them spirits, right? How you do it? Listen and then judge it. Hold on, nigga. Kill my kids. Kill my kids. Wait a minute. You the one told me thou shalt not kill. Hold on, Pop. That don't even sound right. That don't even sound right. No, I don't think we gonna do that no time soon. You dig what I'm saying? So now we know that all that is a fallacy and that any man can be tricked or duped by these spirits. Talking about they your ancestors and all that, man. Huh? Now, if a man comes to you saying, behold, this is my coat, give it to me, you shall say, prove yourself as to who you are. But if a man comes to you saying, your herd is gone astray, you shall not say to him, prove yourself as to who you are, but go and see after your herd. It's a difference, right? Practical, right? Objective application. That's what you need. Anything else don't work. It just don't work, y'all. You know what I'm saying? But with that, I'm going to go ahead and get up out of here. This is Jehovah Chronicles number 278, Rosh Shashana and sacrifice, man. It's not what they told you it was. Huh? Creator, calls for life and liberty to all without the sacrifice, loss of life, or blood of anyone or anything. If anything ever asks for you to sacrifice to it for any reason of any type, it is a false deity. Just want y'all to understand what's really going on around you. Okay? And with that being said, we out.
Creator can't coming, creator can't coming. Turning up the light and watching boys start running. Let me tell you something, we ain't out here doing nothing. I can tell you scared, boy, niggas stop fronting. It was all in the plan.
Creative gang is crazy. Boy, y'all better pay attention.
I just need y'all to breathe in. Let that light in. Because I'm Cosmon, and I'm out.
We fight as a single, impenetrable unit. That is the source